Hi, welcome to Nick Wyke Music. I'm Nick, and this is the third part in the course on song accompaniment. Today we're going to be looking at rhythm work, so for guitarists that's right hand technique, whether we're strumming or picking, but for all those other instrumentalists you can take that idea of the textures that we're going to be dealing with today. So remember, if you like the channel, do subscribe, the link's down below, or click the notifications bell if you want me to tell you about new videos that are coming out. Right, let's move on with part 3 of the course. So in the last part of this, we looked at how to change our chords around, and while we did that, we kept our strumming really straightforward. We're going to reverse that today. We're going to go back to our original 3 chords of D, G and A, while we look at some different strumming and picking things that will work around this pattern. In this session, I'm going to change the focus of the song. I'm going to look at verse 4 and the chorus, because we've probably heard verse 1 quite a bit if you've looked at the last 2 parts. So, where we got to with our strumming and our simple chords was simply having 2 strums per bar, effectively, and they'd be our minims if you're a music reader. So it was something like, "'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary." That was the kind of frequency of those strums. And where we're going to start first is with strumming. So to do that, we need more of a toolkit for our rhythm section, and to achieve that, we're going to start to look at the frequency of the strums first before we look at any techniques around how they work. So for starters, we've got our minim strums. That's kind of 2 strums per chord, 2 strums per bar. Now we can double that and get our crotchet strums. So that would be... Or we can double that again and get what I'll call our quaver strums. We'll go back through all these in a minute. So that might be... That's quite a lot of work with all downstrokes. And again, we'll talk about that in a moment. So moving on, we've done our minim strums. Let's move on to our crotchet strums. First of all, we might try and strum them all down. Or you might find that you want to strum down and up. There's a softer sound on the way back up, so it gives more of a pulse to the rhythm. It's quite aggressive strumming them all down. Okay, we also might want to then double that again to our quaver strums. So this time I'm going to go... That's quite hard work with all downstrokes, but we might want to use our down and up strokes again. So for all stringed instruments, that's the same idea, strumming up and down. If you were playing a violin, it'd be down and up bows. If you're on the piano, it's kind of things like making every second one just a little bit less prominent, so you get that pulsing sound. Once we've got that quaver strum idea, we can start to think about how to really bring some life into this. So what I'm going to do to start with, I'm going to go with the down and up strums first of all on those quaver strums, and I'm going to make the accent that where I play a slightly harder beat at the beginning of each 4. Have a listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to give us a particular sound when we sing over the top. Let me do that with a bit of the chorus just so you can hear it. 'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary, hard times, come again no more. So that's got a particular sound, it kind of drives on. There are other ways that you can accent your strumming. For example, basically you've got 8 quavers in a little phrase there. Think about how you could split them up. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could equally split 8 into a 3 and a 3 and a 2. I could go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now if I'm doing that kind of strumming, then something different has to happen on the right hand. So for this one, I'm going to be strumming the first 3 down, up, down. And then my next lot have to start on an up. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's fairly kind of complex to think about. In some ways easier to do. But those strum directions are all in the resource pack in the description below. So let's try that all together. We're going to stay on the D chord for now. We're not worrying about chord changes. We'll apply it to the song a little bit later. Let's try that first set of accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll count you in a nice slow 4 for that. Ready to start on a downstroke. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's try the second of those accents. So this time we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Or if you prefer to find 3 words that fit with the right syllables, you could have elephant, elephant, tiger. Okay, so let's try that. Here we go, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that makes a real difference to the way that we hear the song when we sing it. 'Tis a song of the weary. Hard times, come again no more. So it's a very different strum feel, and again on other instruments you can take from that rhythm and use that to inform the way that you accompany this. Another way of using that to create our rhythms is, there's 2 ways really. One of which is you just find a rhythm that you like and you try and play it, but all the time you maintain, on guitar, you maintain your strum direction as if you were playing all 8 of those notes. So I might go by the rhythm that goes da 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 da. Now on my right hand, that's going to make down, down, up, down, down, up. So I've got an imaginary up at number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just have a listen to that and then we'll try it together. So that second beat is not played, but try and bring the plectrum back up as if you had played the second beat. Okay, let's try that together, about that speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's one way of achieving that idea. Another way would be to take your 8 beats and actually leave 1 or 2 of them out. So in this example, let's leave out 5. We're going to leave out number 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Have a look at that on the guitar. Slow it down a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. And again, we're missing out number 5, but I'm still doing the down strum that would have happened had it been there. I'm just not hitting the strings. Let's try that all together, nice and slowly, and then we'll put them both together and we'll try them out a little bit with the song. Okay, here we go. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Now you can see that when you've done that, you still get a rhythm that you can hear. So my first thing, I could have thought da 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 da. That would have worked just as well as dropping out that number 5. They're just 2 different methods to the same end. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to try verse 4 and the chorus. Verse 4 starts, "'Tis a sigh that is wafted across the troubled wave." That's all in the resources. We're going to try that, sing along if you like, or just focus on the playing. We're going to start in the verse with 1, 2, and 1, 2, and that we did in our first of those examples of rhythm. And in the chorus, we're going to try and move to our 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Hey, let's give that a go after 3. 1, 2, 3. "'Tis a sigh that is wafted across the troubled wave. 'Tis a wail that is heard upon the shore. 'Tis a dirge that is murmured around the lowly grave. Oh, So you might have noticed in the chorus there, that's quite hard to sing and play at the same time. Part of me wants to say, keep practicing with that, but also you need to be sensible about structuring your rhythmic sections of your arrangements so that they support the song. It's what we talked about right at the very beginning of the course, is how do you support this song? And actually playing something rhythmically that's really hard to sing to is maybe not the best idea. So although it's really great practice on your instrument to do some of those complex rhythms, they're not always a great idea when putting into your song, especially if you are singing and playing at the same time. We're going to move on now and we're going to have a look at picking. So this is where we're taking a chord and rather than strumming it, we're making it into a broken chord by playing notes one after the other. And you can elect to do this with your plectrum or with your fingers, or if you're on piano or something else, obviously you'll break up the chords in your own way for your own instrument. I am going to focus today with finger stuff. So that same sort of pick would be... and you'll hear the difference in softness. So that's another thing to think about later on when we come to arrangement and how we support the song, is whether we want that aggressive plectrum sound or whether we'd like a softer finger sound. And that's the sound we're going to work with for the next little while. Let's look at a couple of standard kind of picks on guitar before we move into something a little bit different. We're going to first of all look at what I think of as kind of classical shape for our right hand. So if you look at the little inset on the video, I've got my thumb on the D string for now. I'm going to play the D chord and I've got my thumb on the D string. I've got my first finger on the G, my second finger on the B, and my third finger on the E string of the guitar. And what all I'm going to do is I'm going to go from thumb to first to second to third. Let's have a go at that all together. Let's practice playing that little pattern, say 4 times. I'll count you in at the speed of the picking this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And with these picks, you can find a really different sound just by altering the numbers of fingers. So if you, instead of going thumb 1, 2, 3, went thumb 2, 1, 3, it would sound like this. So let's try that second one, thumb 2, 1, 3, just to get a feel for those differences. 1, 2, 3, 4, thumb 2, 1, 3. You can then change the order of those to anything you like. I could do thumb 3, 1, 2. Etc. As many different ways as you can think of. When you change chords, the only thing that has to change along with it, for example, when I go to the G chord, is that I will have to play the different bass note with my thumb. So instead of my thumb being on the D string, it's now on the thick E string, and I'm going to be playing the G in the bass. If I went back to my very simple pattern, thumb 1, 2, 3, when I change to an A chord, my thumb's going to change to the open A string. And depending on the chord you play, for any other chords, you're going to have to change. Think about where the root note of the chord is so you know where to put your thumb. So there are a couple of different ways of doing that sort of picking. You could play with thumb and finger, like a kind of claw hammer thing. You could pick your thumb on the bass string, then your finger, then move your thumb down to the next string. In this case that's a G, and then finger to the E. If I put that all together, so that's that thumb 2, 1, 3 pattern that we had before, but just using thumb and finger. So what we're going to do now is have a look at playing through verse 4 and the chorus using a picking style of your choice. I'm going to stick with the very straightforward thumb 1, 2, 3. But if you want to put any of those different styles over the top, then please do. They should all fit together because we're all hopefully playing the same chords. So here we go. I'll give you a slow count of 3 and the picking will be at that kind of speed. 1, 2, 3. 'Tis a sigh that is wafted across the troubled wave, 'tis a wail that is heard upon the shore, 'tis a dirge that is murmured around the lowly grave. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, a sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. So you can pick from those various different picking styles to complement your arrangement, which we're going to have a look at in the next part of the course. So before we leave this session, I'd like to just leave you with another idea. If you want something more to get your teeth into, something that's a bit more challenging, you could try something a bit more syncopated and rhythmic. Here's a little pick, this kind of thing. So that's a real mixture of thumb pick and then double finger pick with a little hammer-on stuff as well. I think of it as a kind of John Martin sort of feel. So maybe you can get away with this with delivering the song a little more slowly, but you're maintaining the rhythm. The rhythm comes from the slapping the edge of your palm on the strings. So hear how that sounds in context. 'Tis a sigh that is wafted across the troubled wave, 'tis a wail that is heard upon the shore, 'tis a dirge that is murmured around the lowly grave. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, a sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. So there's a few extra ideas in there, throwing a few different chords in from some of the stuff that we looked at last time as well. In section number 4 of the course next time, we're going to be looking at how we bring all the things we've done together. How do we interpret the song? Do we interpret it softly, aggressively, slowly, at speed? And then once we've fixed our feel, how do we bring all that together in an arrangement that changes and moves and maybe pays some attention to what the words are doing in the verses? So I look forward to seeing you next time in part 4 of this song accompaniment course. See you soon. Bye.